Ladies and gentlemen, out of all the stories, I tell you one of the ones that I like the most are about haste, especially when the method are extremely clever and unpredictable. That's why I wanted to share today's story, one of the best I have ever encountered, and a genius who didn't just have one idea but come up with dozens of ideas and inventions that allowed him to rob the biggest companies in Germany. So let's start our today's case. Our story begins with a German man named Arno Funke. He worked as a painter but had a dream. He wanted to become an artist, but beside that dream, he had an obsession with chemistry. From a young age, he loved experimenting, making small bombs and rockets. Anything involved chemistry. Two things would completely change his life and turn him into a legend in Germany and worldwide. At age of 15, Arno decided that school wasn't for him and that he wanted to focus entirely on his passion, art. From that day, he stopped formal schooling and dedicated every day to improve his skills. He continued working as a painter, painting cars to support himself while developing his artist skills. By age 21, he started experiencing health problems, dizziness, shortness of breath caused by his job as a painter. This forced him to quit and focus entirely on his passion arts. Arno tried to find work in art, sending samples to magazines to show his skills and desire to become a professional artist. However, no one responded, and he ran out of saving. Returning to his old job wasn't possible. Out of frustration and ambitions, he decided to pursue another path, chemistry, but this time he would use it to make money and get revenge on the companies that ignores him. In 1988, he carried out his first operation. He made a small bomb and placed it in a luxury brand store in Berlin. He sent them a message demanding money, threatened to explode it if they didn't pay. Fortunately, he designed it so that no one would get hurt, and the bomb didn't actually go off. He repeated the same method in a sports store, this time actually donating a small bomb to show his seriousness and scare them into complying. He sent messages and created a clever system to get the money transferred. Arno's method became increasingly ingenious. He designed mechanical devices, a remote control system, and clever way to transport the money without being caught. For instance, he developed a method using a train. He would place the money in a bag, send instruction to the company, and use a remote control to drop it safely at a peace location. His creativity and intelligence consistently outsmarted the authorities. The police tried everything, but he always stayed one step ahead, devising new method and invention to avoid capture. Over the years, Arno carried out multiple operations, each more clever than the last. He used tunnels, hidden cameras, water systems, and mechanical devices to secure the money and evade the police. Despite the criminal aspects, the public admired his intelligence. He avoided hurting anyone, always targeting wealthy companies, and conducted himself with a certain elegance and style reminiscent of old school principle of honor and respect. Eventually, police psychologist Claudia Brookman profiled him, analyzing his motivation. She concluded that Tarno was like a frustrated man seeking to prove his intelligence to the world. She realized that confronting him aggressively wouldn't work. Negotiation and careful tracking were necessarily. Finally, after years of pursuit, on April 22, 1994, Arno was caught. He didn't resist arrest and was treated like a celebrity because of his notoriety. He was sentenced to 9 years in prison but served less as the court acknowledges his intelligence and the fact that he avoided harming people. After his release, Arno finally achieved his dream. He was offered work as an artist in the magazine he had first applied to, fulfilling his long-time goal. He even decided to donate the profit from his heist to the companies he had targeted, essentially attempting to make amends and become a law-abiding citizen. That's the story of today's of Arno Franke, also known as Pixote, one of the most fascinating criminal masterminds in Germany. His story is incredible, not only for his crimes but for his creativity, intelligence, and eventually redemption. This is the story of today's. I hope you like it, and please don't forget to hit subscribe and share, and also like and welcome to your comments. Thank you so much for your watching, and see you in next story. Hopefully you enjoy it.